Well, having knowing all this, I'm finding myself, no matter, for 12 years I've been trying to get this, safety, concrete, bedrock, resource, homestead, so that no matter what work I would end up with, I would have the basics. And, I'm finding that it's almost like the more I want to be poor, or at least sufficient, the harder and the more money I have to make in the wrong way, like it's all backwards. And here we are, on this tipping point where, that it really bugs me, because all along I've seen this coming. I've been trying and striving for doing what it's going to take to get through it, and I've missed my ship. So I'm going to be suffering like I was a no-mind. All the people on YouTube, like Fred and whatever, most of them are probably kids, but they got their head buried in the sand. I'm going to be with them. But I'm the guy that actually has my head open, my eyes open, and I see what's going on. This is just something that's really, really eating at me lately. Because, I don't know, it's like making all of the provisions to do everything right, and striving to do everything right, and still end up doing everything wrong. It's almost like the same theory is happening again. No matter what, I'm going to be in the depression, But, where does that lead us, right? Why am I sharing all this? Well, I guess you could say it's kind of a blog or vlog, as people call it. Some of my subscribers, they've written me quite often now. You don't really know anybody, I guess, but you feel more closer to these people. But what I'm sensing is I'm sensing a lot of people out there that are like me, perhaps in how they think. Not a lot. I shouldn't say a lot. I have like 80 to 85 subscribers, and some of them subscribe to my snowblower videos and what have you too, right? But in a world of, I don't know how many people, what is there? Well, China's got 1 billion, 2 billion anyhow. There may be 50 people out there that are kind of along the lines that I am, and some, they're all over the world, I guess. Some are in the States. I guess there's a couple in Canada. But when the YouTube community, if indeed it collapses, and all I mean by this, if it comes to the point where there is no more internet, or people cannot afford their phone line or hydro to run anything, this newfound haven for people to connect will be lost. And I think it's going to be missed only after it's gone. Because right now I think a lot of people are taking it for granted. So, in connecting what I've just said to what I've been talking about, I guess you could say I'm experienced. I really don't like to brag in that way that, but I have slept on a countertop. I have gone without, the necessities of life for short periods of time. I have had to live in, street-like conditions. I know what it's like to have someone bang on the door and basically kick you out of where you are. You can't sleep here. I've been through this. I think God put me through enough of it. Not enough that it would ever really harm me, but certainly enough that it affected me and taught me to what it's like. I've had friends, turn on me in times of need. Family, my goodness, you think that's the one you can trust. They were the worst. But, yeah, and it's a whole new ballgame when you have a family to support, too. My batteries keep quitting on me, so I guess this is going to be a bit of a broken up video. We're going to try and get the laptop camera to work, so I'll throw those batteries in the garbage. But anyways, I'm going to probably share a little bit more on the faith, but if the batteries will permit me, I do have one thing I got to say here that occurred to me while I was waiting for them to charge there a minute ago. In times like this too, a lot of people start getting closer to a faith of some sort. Mostly I find it's Christian faith. Could be a lot of faiths out there. But this Bible verse came to me in the book of Psalms in the Old Testament. it basically says, Thou hast set our iniquities before thee, our secret sins in the light of thy conscience. For all of our days are passed away in thy wrath. We spend our years as a tale that is told. The days of our years are 60 years and 10, and if by reason of strength they be 80 years, between 60 and 80 years old. Yet is their strength labor and sorrow, for it is soon cut off, and we fly away. Who knoweth the power of thine anger? Even according to thy fear, so is thy wrath. So teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. You know, that last part was what struck me. It's times like this that people start thinking about that. Because all the fantasy life, you know, the good times bring, sometimes I think they bring more damage than the bad times do. I really believe this. There are a lot of people that might be thinking about that right now, and there's a lot of people that are probably going to be going through a lot of torment and sorrows, and are coming closer to the faith. Now, I'll state right now, like, I'm certainly not perfect. I may not always live what you might think is a godly life on a daily basis. But that doesn't mean necessarily that I certainly don't have faith in God, and that I have not seen the things that I have seen. There's no denying the stuff that I've seen. I've had quite a revival through my 20s concerning the faith, and I was quite active in the church. Not that that means a whole lot, but the revival that I did have spiritually, and the scriptures that I've come to have some understanding to, and I say some because it's a three-dimensional book. There's always things to learn in it. That I feel I would like to share to some degree. I've been discussing with my wife a bit. I might start doing another small series along with our homestead series we're working on. Maybe doing some, friendly discussion, sermon type things concerning the faith that can apply to the things that people are going through right now. For myself, there's only one thing I can think of that's far worse than any recession or depression, and according to the Bible, that's the punishment and the dues that are going to have to be paid for sin. I know that as far as my subscribers go, I don't have very many, 80 or whatever. Some of you may have faith, some of you don't, most of you probably don't, and you've probably had a lot of negative advertisement out there concerning the faith. As a matter of fact, the Bible verse says, because of those people, the way of the truth shall be spoken evil of. But I should have you know that there is a way of the truth. I've studied a lot of this stuff with pastors, especially through the 90s and the 80s. A lot of televangelists, hypocrites. They are hypocrites. Nobody needs a hypocrite. The last thing anybody needs, especially in times like this, is a lying hypocrite. I hate hypocrites. Ironically, that's why I don't go to church right now, but that doesn't mean I'm going to bash everybody, though. It doesn't give me the right to. There's just a lot of good people in church, too. A lot of the elders are the crooked ones. I've been through this, so I know what that's like. I'm going to try to